Hey everyone, and welcome to a deep dive that might just blow your mind a little bit.
Yeah, get ready to have your understanding of blockchains like totally flipped on its head.
We're talking layer zero, and if you've heard the buzz but haven't really wrapped your head around it,
Yeah, or if you're just curious about like the future of blockchain in general.
you are in the right place.
Absolute.
So we're not just talking about like bridging tokens here and there.
Right, this is way bigger than that.
This is about like a vision for this crazy interconnected blockchain world where
Yeah, where value and information can flow seamlessly between any blockchain you can imagine.
And the best part is we're going to unpack what that actually means for you, like how this is going to change things.
Yeah, we're talking real world implications here.
Exactly.
Not just hype.
To help us break it down,
Okay.
we're diving into this awesome conversation between two
Super smart.
super smart Layer Zero experts
Yeah, they really know their stuff.
from the Leviathan News YouTube channel.
If you haven't checked out Leviathan News, you definitely should.
Really great content over there.
Yeah, seriously.
And to make things even more fun, both of these experts are named Matt.
So we've got double the insights, you know?
Exactly, double the brain power.
It gets pretty in-depth, but
Right.
trust me, it's worth it.
Oh yeah, it's a wild ride, but we're going to break it all down for you.
So buckle up.
Okay, so let's start with the basics.
Yeah, let's ground ourselves a little bit.
What is Layer Zero, really?
You know, you've probably heard that buzzword, Omni chain, floating around.
Oh yeah, it's everywhere these days.
Well, that's exactly what Layer Zero is trying to build.
Like the foundation for this omni-chain future.
Exactly. It's like the missing piece of the puzzle.
I love that.
Think of it this way.
Okay, I'm listening.
TCP/IP,
Mm.
like the protocol that makes the internet work.
Yeah, like the backbone of the internet.
Right. It allows any computer to talk to any other computer, no matter what operating system it's running.
Like my Mac can talk to your PC.
Exactly. No problem.
That's what Layer Zero wants to do for blockchains.
It wants to be that universal language that all these different blockchains can speak.
So instead of having all these like isolated chains, we could have this seamless flow of information and value between them.
Exactly. It's like breaking down the walls between all these different blockchain ecosystems.
That sounds amazing, but like, isn't that what existing bridges are trying to do?
That's a great question. And that's where things get really interesting.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
Layer Zero is fundamentally different from those bridges.
In what way?
Well, for one, it's not a blockchain itself.
Okay, that's different.
Unlike something like Polkadot, which is a blockchain with its own interconnected parachains.
Yeah, I remember learning about Polkadot.
Layer Zero is a protocol that can be integrated into any existing blockchain.
Oh, so it's not trying to create its own ecosystem.
Right. It's more like a universal adapter that can connect all these different blockchains together.
I get it. So it's not about picking winners or losers.
Nope. It's about making everything work together.
I like that philosophy.
It's very Web3.
Yeah,
You know?
totally. Okay, but what about security?
The million-dollar question.
Right. We've seen so many bridge hacks in the past.
Oh, yeah. It's a huge concern.
How does Layer Zero address that?
That's one of the coolest things about it.
Okay, I'm all ears.
They use something called decentralized verifier networks, or DVNs.
Deviants.
Yeah, it sounds complicated, but it's actually a really elegant solution.
Break it down for me.
Okay, imagine you're choosing a lock for your door.
Okay, I can visualize that.
You might use a simple lock for your, garden shed.
Right, just something basic.
But you'd probably want, a much stronger lock for your house.
Definitely.
DVNs are kind of like that.
Okay, I'm following you.
They offer different levels of security depending on what the application needs.
So a high-value transaction could use like a super secure DVN,
Right.
but like a simple task could use a lighter, more cost-effective option.
Exactly. You pick the right tool for the job.
It's like choosing the appropriate level of protection.
Precisely.
That's a pretty cool idea.
And this flexibility is a huge deal, especially compared to something like Chainlink CCIP.
Which relies on that centralized Oracle network, right?
Yet with Layer Zero, you have much more control over your security.
Okay, I'm starting to see why people are so excited about this.
It's pretty groundbreaking stuff.
It really is. But how does it stack up against other bridging solutions we've seen, like Axlar or Wormhole?
Another great question.
You know, I'm full of them.
Well, Axlar, for instance, uses this middle chain to relay messages between blockchains.
Okay, and what's wrong with that?
It creates a potential bottleneck and a single point of failure.
Kind of like having all your internet traffic going through one central hub.
Exactly. If that hub goes down, everything grinds to a halt.
Not ideal.
Not at all.
So Layer Zero avoids that by not relying on any intermediary chains.
Yeah. It's a much more direct approach.
I like that.
But what about Wormhole?
They've had their fair share of security issues too, right?
Yeah, they have.
So what's the difference there?
Well, Wormhole uses these upgradable contracts.
Which means the code can be changed, right?
Right, which can be helpful for like fixing bugs.
Sure, I can see that.
But it also introduces this possibility that the code could be altered maliciously.
So there's a trade-off between flexibility and security.
Exactly. It's a delicate balance.
So where does layer 0 fall on that spectrum?
Layer 0 prioritizes immutability.
Immutability.
But once the core code is deployed, it can't be changed.
Look, it's set in stone.
Exactly. It's like etching it in stone.
So no rug pulls or unexpected changes from the core team.
Nope. The code is the code.
That's a big deal for user trust, right?
Huge. Absolutely.
And it's also like a core principle of decentralization, right?
Absolutely. Even if the team behind Layer 0 disappeared tomorrow,
Poof.
gone, the protocol would continue to function.
Whoa, that's actually really impressive.
It's designed to be resilient and unstoppable.
Okay, I'm sold on the tech, but let's get down to brass tacks.
Let's talk practicalities.
Yeah, what does all this mean for me, the average person using blockchain?
How will it actually change my experience?
Exactly. Get to the good stuff.
Okay, so imagine this.
Okay, I'm imagining.
You want to use your assets on Arbitrum as collateral to borrow something on the BNB chain.
Okay, I've thought about doing that before.
Right now, that's a multi-step process.
Oh yeah, lots of bridging and wrapping and...
Exactly. And don't forget the gas fees.
Gas fees kill me.
Right, it can get really expensive.
Way too expensive sometimes.
Layer 0 aims to make that entire process seamless.
Okay, now you're talking.
You can do all of that within a single application without ever leaving your Arbitrum wallet.
Now we're switching between wallets and worrying about different gas tokens.
Nope, it just works.
That would be amazing.
And think about cross-chain governance.
Okay, what about it?
You could vote on proposals on any chain you want.
So like I could vote on something on Solana,
Yeah.
but it would all be settled securely on Ethereum, for example.
Exactly. You get the flexibility without sacrificing security.
This is blowing my mind.
It's powerful stuff.
Yeah. So it's not just about moving assets around. It's about creating this interconnected ecosystem where you can participate in all these different protocols and DAOs from anywhere.
Exactly. That's the power of Layer 0.
And of course, this increased efficiency could lead to like dramatically lower fees for users.
Oh yeah, that's a huge benefit.
This is all starting to sound pretty amazing, but there's one thing I'm still not quite grasping.
Okay, what's tripping you up?
These omni-chain fungible tokens, or OFTs.
Ah, yes, the OFTs.
So Matt's described it as like a fundamental shift in how we think about tokens,
It's a big deal.
but I'm still not sure I get it.
Let me try to explain it in a way that makes sense.
Please do.
Traditionally, when you bridge a token, you're essentially creating a wrapped version of that token on the destination chain.
Okay, like making a photocopy of a dollar bill.
Yeah, that's a good analogy.
Oh, far so good.
But with OFTs, it's not a copy.
Okay, so what is it?
It's more like the token exists simultaneously on multiple chains.
Wait, so it's like the dollar bill has a presence in multiple places at once?
Exactly, it's mind-bending.
That's wild. How is that even possible?
And that's the magic of Layer 0.
Okay, you gotta explain this magic.
It creates this shared state between chains, so the token can essentially have multiple locations.
So it's not just a representation of the token on another chain? It's the actual same token just existing in multiple places at once?
That's the idea.
That is seriously mind-blowing.
And it's not just theoretical either.
Oh, really?
There are already projects like Tapioca DAO.
Tapioca DAO, that's a name I haven't heard in a while.
They're back, and they're doing some really cool stuff.
What are they up to?
They're using this OFT technology to build innovative DeFi applications.
Okay, now I'm really intrigued.
We'll dive into the specifics of what they're building in part 2 of this deep dive.
Okay, you've got me hooked. I can't wait to hear more about Tapioca DAO. All right, I am ready to have my mind blown again.
Oh, we're just getting started.
Before we dive into Tapioca DAO, let's talk some real-world numbers. How much is Layer 0 actually being used out there in the wild?
Hold on to your hat, because the Matts dropped some seriously impressive stats in that Leviathan News discussion.
Okay, hit me with them.
Over 48,000 smart contracts are already using Layer 0.
48,000?
Yep.
That's not just like a few experimental projects.
No way.
That's some serious adoption.
That's real-world usage.
Wow.
And get this, over $50 billion has already been transferred using the protocol.
That's not hype.
Nope. That's real money moving around.
So like some of us might even be using Layer 0 without knowing it.
It's very possible a lot of applications are quietly integrating this tech behind the scenes.
Like it's becoming part of the infrastructure?
Yeah, like the plumbing of the internet.
You don't think about it, but it's essential.
Exactly.
Okay, color me impressed.
I thought you might be.
But this brings up another question.
Shoot.
How does a protocol like this actually sustain itself?
Ah, the business model.
Yeah, is there a token? What's the deal?
Here's where it gets interesting. And this really speaks to Layer Zero's commitment to decentralization.
Okay, I'm listening.
Remember we mentioned Layer Zero Labs?
The separate entity building products and services on top of the protocol.
Exactly.
Yeah, they're like the builders using the Layer Zero tools to create those user-facing applications.
Right, and one of their key products is the Executor.
Executor.
Yeah, the part of the system that actually relays messages between chains.
Okay, so it's like the messenger.
Yeah, you could think of it that way.
But here's the thing. Layer Zero Labs isn't the only one who can run an executor.
No, anyone can.
So it's like a free market for executors.
Exactly. Competition is a good thing.
Keeps everyone on their toes.
It keeps Layer Zero Labs on their toes.
They have to constantly innovate and make sure they're offering like the best, most efficient executor.
Right, otherwise developers will just go with the competitor.
Survival of the fittest for executors.
That's the beauty of decentralization.
I love it. So Layer Zero Labs earns revenue by providing the service and competing in the open market.
Exactly.
No need for a token or anything like that.
Nope. They're creating value and earning their keep in a truly decentralized way.
It's a refreshing approach.
It is.
Okay, but let's zoom out for a second and talk about the human element.
Okay.
What can you tell us about the team and the culture over at Layer Zero Labs?
Well, from what we've gathered, they've cultivated a culture of passionate builders who are deeply committed to this mission.
Like they really believe in what they're doing.
Oh, yeah. The Matts we heard from in that Leviathan News discussion were practically bursting with enthusiasm.
Their passion was definitely contagious.
It's inspiring to see people so dedicated to building something they believe in.
It really is. Okay, last but not least, let's address the elephant in the room.
Oh, boy.
How decentralized is Layer Zero really?
The big question.
Can we be sure it's resistant to censorship and outside control?
That's a critical question, especially in the crypto space.
For sure.
And this is where that principle of immutability we talked about earlier comes into play.
Okay, remind me about that.
Even if Layer Zero Labs vanished overnight, gone, the core protocol, the foundational code, would continue to function.
Wow, no single point of failure.
Exactly. And because anyone can run DVNs or executors.
There's no single entity that can control the network.
Right. It's designed to be resilient and resistant to censorship from the ground up.
Okay, that's reassuring.
Good.
But now let's play devil's advocate for a moment.
Okay. I like where this is going.
We've talked a lot about the positives, but what are some potential downsides or challenges Layer Zero might face?
It's always important to look at both sides of the coin.
Right, no tech is perfect.
Building a truly interoperable blockchain ecosystem is incredibly complex.
Yeah, there are bound to be some unforeseen hurdles along the way.
Things rarely go exactly according to plan, especially in a space as innovative as blockchain.
Right. Even the most brilliant minds can't predict everything.
So true.
What are some other potential roadblocks?
Well, adoption is key.
In what way?
For Layer Zero to achieve its full potential, it needs widespread buy-in from developers and blockchain projects.
If the ecosystem doesn't embrace it,
The whole thing could fizzle out.
it's a classic chicken and egg problem.
Exactly. The more people use it, the more useful it becomes.
And the more useful it becomes, the more people use it.
Precisely.
So it's a bit of a self-fulfilling prophecy.
In a way.
And then, of course, there's the question of security.
Ah, yes. Security always looms large.
While Layer Zero's flexible security model with those DVNs is a major advantage, it also introduces complexity.
It does.
Developers need to be very careful about choosing the right security configurations.
Right. Mistakes could lead to vulnerabilities.
So more control also means more responsibility.
Exactly.
What else should we be wary of?
Well, regulatory uncertainty is always a factor in the crypto space.
Ugh, regulation.
New regulations could emerge that impact how Layer Zero operates, or even its legality in certain jurisdictions.
It's like a constant game of adaptation.
It is. You have to be agile in this space.
Absolutely.
But don't let these challenges overshadow the incredible potential of Layer Zero.
Oh, for sure. The potential is huge.
We'll be keeping a close eye on these developments and help you navigate the ever-changing landscape of blockchain.
That's what we're here for.
Always happy to help.
But it's not just about us, right?
No, of course not.
What can our listeners do to stay ahead of the curve and make sense of all this?
Be an active participant.
What do you mean?
Don't just passively consume information.
Okay, so like get involved.
Yeah, dive into the Layer Zero documentation, explore the projects being built on it, maybe even start tinkering yourself.
I love that. Get those hands dirty.
The future of blockchain is being built right now, and anyone can be a part of it.
You never know. You might just discover the next killer app that leverages the power of Layer Zero.
That's the spirit.
All right, now I'm fired up.
Good.
Let's finally talk about Tapioca DAO,
Oh, okay.
the project that's been teasing our curiosity for the last 20 minutes.
They are really doing some fascinating work with Layer Zero.
Tell me everything.
Remember those OFTs we talked about?
The tokens that can exist natively across multiple chains.
Right, the mind-bending concept where it's not a copy.
But the actual token in multiple places at once?
Exactly.
Yeah, it's still kind of blowing my mind.
Well, Tapioca DAO is at the forefront of exploring what this new paradigm means for DeFi.
DeFi, that's decentralized finance for anyone just tuning in.
Always good to clarify.
So what are they doing specifically?
They're leveraging OFTs to create something called a cross-chain lending market.
A cross-chain lending market.
Yep.
Okay, now that piques my interest.
Tell me more.
I'm all ears.
Imagine this. You want to borrow some crypto.
Okay, I'm imagining I need some extra ETH.
Right now, you'd have to find a lending platform on the specific chain where you hold your collateral.
Yeah, that's how it works today.
But with Tapioca's cross-chain market,
Yeah.
you could deposit your collateral on one chain,
Okay.
say ETH on Ethereum,
Got it.
and borrow a completely different asset on another chain,
Like what?
maybe BNB on the BNB chain.
Wait, so I could put up my ETH as collateral, but then borrow BNB without having to bridge or wrap anything?
That's the power of OFTs.
No way, that's insane.
They make the process seamless and incredibly efficient.
Okay, my mind is officially blown again.
I told you.
But this raises another question.
Hit me.
If my collateral is on Ethereum and my loan is on BNB chain,
Yeah.
how does that all get managed securely?
That's where Layer Zero's magic comes in.
More magic.
The protocol ensures that all the necessary information is communicated between the chains
So like it's making sure everything is legit.
and that the loan is properly collateralized.
Okay, that makes sense.
It's like a trustless intermediary that ensures everything runs smoothly.
So I don't have to trust any third party.
Nope. It's all handled by the code.
This all sounds incredible, but is it actually working? Is Tapioca DAO live?
They're still in the development phase, but their testnet is up and running.
So it's not just vaporware.
Not at all.
Right.
Early reports are very promising, and it's definitely a project to keep an eye on.
So this is more than just a theoretical concept.
Way more.
We could see real-world cross-chain lending markets in the near future.
It's closer than you think.
And this is just one example of what's possible with Layer Zero and OFTs.
Right. It's like a whole new world of possibilities is opening up in the DeFi space.
It really does feel like a paradigm shift.
It is.
We've talked about the potential cost savings and efficiency, but what about like the broader implications of Layer Zero?
What do you mean?
If it achieves this vision of a truly interconnected blockchain world,
Yeah.
how could that change things on a larger scale?
Well, for starters, it could lead to an explosion of innovation in the DeFi space.
Like a Cambrian explosion of DeFi.
Exactly. Developers would be free to create applications that were previously impossible because of the limitations of isolated blockchains.
It's like breaking down the walls between different ecosystems.
Precisely.
Imagine the possibilities.
It is mind-boggling.
And this could lead to the creation of like entirely new financial products and services.
That could benefit users all over the world.
It's not just about DeFi either, right?
Right.
Where else could Layer Zero have a significant impact?
Think about gaming.
I love gaming.
Imagine a world where your in-game assets and achievements are portable across multiple game worlds,
Whoa.
all powered by Layer Zero's seamless interoperability.
So like I wouldn't be locked into a single gaming platform.
Exactly. You could take your characters and items with you wherever you go.
That's every gamer's dream.
It is, and it doesn't stop there.
Oh, there's more.
Layer Zero's technology could revolutionize things like supply chain management,
Okay, how so?
where you need to track goods moving across different networks,
Yes. That's a complex process.
and digital identity,
Oh, interesting.
or individuals could control their own data across multiple platforms.
It sounds like Layer Zero has the potential to be as transformative as the internet itself.
It really does.
But as with any powerful technology,
There are always risks.
we also need to be mindful of the potential downsides.
Right. There's always another side to the coin.
What are some of the things that give you pause when you think about the future of Layer Zero and this vision of an omni-chain world?
Well, one concern is the potential for increased complexity.
Okay, in what way?
As the blockchain ecosystem becomes more interconnected,
Yeah.
it can become harder to understand and manage.
Like it could become too tangled,
Exactly. We could end up with this tangled web of chains and applications.
which could create new security risks.
Right. Complexity can definitely be a breeding ground for vulnerabilities.
And then there's the question of governance.
Ah, yes, the G word.
As the Layer 0 ecosystem grows,
Mm-hmm.
who gets to make decisions about the protocol's development and evolution?
It's a crucial question.
We need to make sure it stays truly decentralized and resistant to capture by any single entity.
Absolutely. These are complex issues that will need to be carefully considered as Layer 0 and the Omni-chain vision continue to evolve.
Yeah, it is a lot to wrap your head around, but that's kind of the whole point of these deep dives, you know?
Definitely.
To help you navigate this exciting and sometimes overwhelming world of blockchain.
It's a wild ride out there.
It is. And, it brings us back to that key question.
What does this all mean for you?
Yeah, why should anyone care about Layer 0?
Exactly. It might sound all abstract and technical,
Right.
but it has the potential to impact your everyday life.
In a big way.
Okay, so let's be practical.
All right, let's bring it down to earth.
How could Layer 0 actually change things for the average person using blockchain?
Well, one way is through cost savings.
Okay, yeah. I'm always down for saving money.
We talked about how Layer 0 could drastically reduce those pesky fees.
Those annoying gas fees.
Yeah, the ones associated with bridging assets.
Ugh, I hate those.
Right, and this could make DeFi more accessible to everyone.
Especially smaller investors who might be priced out by those high gas costs.
Exactly. It's like democratizing finance.
Leveling the playing field.
Making these tools and opportunities available to a wider range of people.
I like that.
And then there's the potential for entirely new types of applications and user experiences.
Things we can barely even imagine right now.
Right. It's like trying to predict the future. The Matts mentioned some pretty wild concepts.
Oh, yeah, they did.
Like those token-bound accounts.
Imagine NFTs that can act on your behalf.
That's next-level stuff.
Right now, it might sound like science fiction.
Yeah, it's pretty out there.
But as Layer 0 gains traction, these things could become as commonplace as using a mobile wallet.
It just becomes part of the fabric of how we interact with blockchain.
Exactly.
It's like we're standing at the edge of this new era of blockchain where things are more interconnected and user-friendly than ever before.
It really is a paradigm shift.
It is.
Yeah.
And here's a thought-provoking question for you.
Go shoot.
If Layer 0 becomes as ubiquitous as they envision,
Yeah.
will we even need to think about bridging anymore?
Whoa.
Right? It's like the technology itself just fades into the background.
And we're just left with this seamless flow of value and information between chains.
That's the dream.
That's the ultimate goal.
To abstract away all the complexity.
And just make blockchain as easy to use as any other technology.
Okay. I'm officially on board the Layer 0 train.
All aboard.
Any final words of wisdom for our listeners who are now itching to learn more?
The best way to understand Layer 0 is to experience it firsthand.
So dive in and get your hands dirty.
Exactly. Dive into their documentation, explore some of the applications built on it, and just see what all the excitement is about.
And remember, you don't need to be a coding whiz to get involved.
Not at all.
There are tons of resources out there to help you get started.
The barrier to entry has never been lower.
The future of blockchain is being built right now.
And it's more accessible than ever.
So don't be a bystander.
No, jump in.
Explore, and maybe even build something incredible.
That's the spirit.
Couldn't have said it better myself. And on that note, we've reached the end of our deep dive into Layer 0.
It's sad to see it end.
I know, but there's so much more to explore out there.
Always.
Keep your eyes peeled on this space because things are moving fast.
Blockchain waits for no one.
And the omni-chain future is just around the corner.
I can practically taste it.
Thanks for joining us, and until next time, keep exploring the fascinating world of blockchain.
Happy exploring, everyone.